there's been a transition with power. That's what we're kind of really talking about. Of
Mm-hmm.
the whole demasculinization and all that stuff and blah blah blah. And I go, there's gonna be another time later on where it's a whole different story and stuff like that. But what I'm really trying to get at is why are we so concerned about power and not concerned about the success of cohabiting? Like, you get what I mean?
I
That is a great
was
question.
right about to get into that.
And you know what? That
I was
goes to a
going to get
question.
into it.
Because that is something I noticed too. It's a power struggle and it shouldn't be that way. But this goes into this is a question I asked specifically. Sorry, B, but this is a specific
No,
question I
you
want to
got
ask
it. You got
Norris. What is marriage?
You said, what is marriage?
What is marriage? Yes.
Two people.
Okay, two people. What?
Two people making a structure of life around each other. Period.
So, and again, I've heard this from other people, like, and you know, and you know what, I've actually have heard this from older folks, and it goes back to more traditional time. If you ask certain people, they'll sit there and say, marriage is to create a family structure for the kids. Marriage is not about you and her; it's about the kids. It's about raising a family, raising a household. That's why I was asking you, as a person who's married, what is marriage?
It's the two people that's cohabitating. Like,
Hmm.
it's not, the kids don't exist without those two people. That's the fundamental that has to be understood about marriage. Whoever those people are, whether the kids are adopted, whatever the case may be, literally, if it wasn't for those two people coming together,
Mm-hmm.
none of the rest of it exists.
Yeah. Okay. You want to touch on this, B? I'll let you go before I say anything.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, well, the answer to to answer that question, what is marriage? I'm not a married man, so this opinion could definitely change over the years. It's all of that, you know. Is all of it, you know. Is you, your wife, the kids. Uh, if you are, if you're a spiritual person, you know, like what I'm trained to be, the most high on top, and is by and is what starting off with you and her is what you agree on how this relationship should be ran, and hopefully you guys could, you know, keep that going. And I always say, like, going back to earlier, uh or just I'll just add this to this conversation, well about people changing. I always say about every 5 years people change, but you start to see it around like the third year. And I always say it's about communication. I always say, you know, every few years, sit down and talk about what what's on your mind, what's going on, how you feel about this. We agreed upon this when we first started. Do you still feel the same? You know, if you feel different, why? You know, um, and maybe implement new things on how we're going to move forward. Because, like I said, you know, kids, like Nora's was saying throughout this whole time, like things constantly change. Kids get older. Like I said, family parents might die that could affect your partner or yourself. You know, and there's all that stuff. A kid gets sick, or you could have a disabled child or something. It's all of that stuff, and you just it's constant communication. Now, does it always work out? No. but but you just gotta keep trying. If it works out, cool. If you don't, cool as well. But like I said, as a spiritual guy, that's why, of course, you gotta have the Father in your life, because at the end of the day, he's the only one who's gonna have you guys back. I always say this to I always joke around with this about Abraham in the Bible. His wife couldn't have children, so his wife gave Abraham her maize for he could have children with her maize, because the whole purpose of life is to reproduce. And women back then knew that. It was an honor. So when so Sarah was 90 something years old when she had her child. Sarah looked at the maize and said, "Oh no, you got to go. You got to go." She kicked the maize out with Abraham's children. Abraham got mad at his wife. "What are you doing?" Most High said, "Don't worry about it. Your kids are good. I will look out for them and I will protect them." And I think if people had that type of backing, that type of understanding, then I think a lot of things would be a lot better. But that's just there's only a few that's actually going to get what I just said just now. So, but I understand that, and it is what it is. But I'm done.